awie da masese munya abetwe ma yekoto nkrak tiawa ya bai yebehye na yedi nkomo na bripemu no enanom yebema mu ntiri nkwa Mother's Day no yebe wish mu papa na ya mama husamu so mo ma yedomo nso yedomo pemasem pa na ansa na no yebekọ ama no so na ya hyase edi enkomo na ne ye nkomo a yebedie no efa ensamba ku menum yensa bi a esisi nansen ene se womo a ehihye security agencies ni bi uniforms BC ewo me ahodo bi Adam Robe yakwachi ngbrante nwotwe ana hye immigration uniform wana de ma wo mu unya wo hye operation mkoye no wana soma wo mu ho sam wo ho ne no nko me ahodo bibiri ehunu sane ma no na ba ko esiye ewo achimda eye na wotwe mu eni se wiakete mrantie miensa kura sekan brantan no mudwudwudwo mo ho eko ewo ka akwan mu wiakete no ehwehwemu kire se sa mrantie Galamsey fo na se de video na mo hwe no sa pepepe na esiye na ade na amani pa bi adwena bibi sanse ye ka Galamsey nsam na yewura kandapa ano ye former national security minister kan say ahoho na begum no eye threat to national security yewura muntaka wono so nansen a wono so ba benya dibra no so aka say nipa na egum ne Galamsey na wo mu etu na ekoso no eye threat to national security according to report ayenyaye ewo sa video ehu no nipa miensa na ekura sekan obudwudwudwam ho ewo achim diamond nsuyi no emu mienu ya hoho ana ba ko ye ganani enti asema ye bisa ne se sa Galamsey ya kan wasema kan no ya kan threat to national security ya enye hu sunsanso ne ehuni enye hu pupuye nie samba kaya takwa soye mu sorry takwa soye mu soja for ko palm plantation bi a emekire rubber plantation e wo ho a enkrofo to Galamsey ena plantation for no frɛ so omu hia bambo omu du kuro no so a emrante okromo so mo pene ma soja for no wura kromu ho edu ba bi kro soja for mo di togu soja for no ka mu ebro ma bo tututuo ema soja for no koi yenhwe the impunity a won de yom niema echi na soja for koi a ene soja for no ka na wo mo aborbon hu tokure wo ho no tu yankrofo tutu bubo mu no ye bisa se the trender saade yi ekoi no ehun sam te sen enye hu mo man no se ya hwe ye betumi adane se sankrofo yi a etu Galamsey yi ebetumi aye you know me can you know esa otiase ewo mayi mu ana owura Richard Kumado eye bambo mu obenfo me kan bambo mu obenfo a o security consultant ene na ka so ba fi ha na so bibi nti wotumi ama ye so hwe ankwa ne honam kɔ telephone da room nti agya na ahoma so a ye ne bedi enkomo afasa semi ho ye rakoma da otime nka ye mo achiba YouTube so anopa yi
okay Agya Kwabena mi pa chop mi da say ami say one who videos a enenam system no mu ye mfa no ye hyase free wo mu a enya security agencies ni binum uniform ehye e de koye operation kwakoye say landguard o say ye dan yu yenim wo mu kura AK47 e binu kura pump action gun and they behave as military people sad ye koso yi and then e kire yen e national security ho major first of all major concern man security officers work from her and as the national security at the highest level. The reason is number one, almost create public safety challenges. Number two, almost impersonation. And number three, the tendency is almost intrusive activities into your communities and into your sensitive security installations near very high. And China, a balance now a bit of a concern among manage the security of the country. But yeah, very good, ni say, who measure the management of a security institution. One of the things I had the measurement near the time of response. And it is security infractions biba, and answer security breaches biba. Yes, time police for and answer frontline security officers the response. In this particular case, issue ni pay almost response time ni very good and no ya ticket box no. The second measurement ni actions almost take here. And the actions almost take here say chiomo and it's ya ticket box no. The third one is what will be the final decision on taking in terms of breaching your public safety guidelines, any protocols no. A usually issue ni what are some of the things you face the rigors of the law? What has been the relationship between the justice system any almost facing the rigors of the law? Because Agya Kwabena, one partnership for almost breaching with security tendencies, and no, a whole issue now raising free bar because Kwabena himself or and yashi, and to Kojoso himself or Koya Yabetino, na yachini via and Kosishi. Then you might be creating the premises for a major uprising and I say a major uproar, the bar issues of security breaches. The second point is that only more foreigners are almost Ghanaians. They don't sing the national anthem, they don't recite the national pledge. They are loyalty to the state and their patriotism to the state is anyhow. And it's almost taking decision against the state. You're different from Ghanaians. They have been to Ghana, they have school in Ghana, they sang the national anthem, they recite the pledge, and they are patriotic to the state. And that is the difference. The issues such as this, now first responders, military for any police for almost come now almost say we breaking ABCD laws. The records of the law in terms of punitive actions, in terms of prosecution, and in terms of other ones that go against almost breaking your rules. Yes, and it's to be called as quickly as possible. Other than that, you might be rationalizing bad behavior and promoting antisocial tendencies in society.
My yeshe bakubia esi ye ewo takwanso emu kronidi na mire fi kakra but mekai and say partner ye rubber plantation or Galamsey foi akushim na wo mo seniama na plantation for no asrese bambo for mra na soja for akọ na kromu ese mranche ne tu Galamsey no atwituo e de ese soja for kan so ebro soja for kan mutuo ebro mabro na sese soja for no retreat no don ben na ebo.
And number one, because Galamsey is a very high risk operation, and I say you man na before a very high risk operation. And to them, research team na idea pass risk assessment say a very high, a higher medium high, a higher low high. High ni bad because of a tour providing security ma Galamsey kita. Any the tendency of using the guns against the frontliners, which are the police and the NIMOS people. And it's all those assessments before say and to them, no one surprise is the boys have opened fire on them. What is important is when they open fire, what will be the response of NIMOS for? And what a problem no one. Now always what I have been saying is that there's no militia group operating in Ghana that can withstand the combined forces of our Ghana armed forces. They will take them out early in the morning. But a bad element of surprise attack, such as the one we are talking about, and the nature of Galamsey, so we are frontliner, whether NIMOS or police, you should be prepared for such attack. Up to such a time, we will eliminate Galamsey and make sure all the boys in the forest have been clear. Some of these attacks may happen in one way or the other.
Na se Kwabena san se o kan bibi se wo mu a enye oman yi ma no se wo mu ye bibi edie eti oman na enhyeda enha omo papa enti se Ghana ni a ono de ne maame ne papa na busuafo ho nti ono ye bibi obadwene ho kakra nsa na waye safo enso na do so system no mu pe de ye mbambo mpanyifo ka kire ye no saa na eche se ahoho no do so Galamsey ni tuo mu echen Ghana fo typical example ba ko bi esi na most for ko che nkrofo bi na wachim osino nipa ko che no mu ye 34 out of the 34 no emu 4 pe na Ghana fo 30 no Niger fo set some passes and nkrofo no betumi aye bibia wo mo nwene Ghana ho na se wo mo ye bibia mo nwene Ghana ho a enye hu nchen se ne bia ye betwa ho foni no
definitely any situation any group of people omo activities and answer omo nyama ye ebe preaching ye public safety guidelines no ye major concern whether omo ye Ghana for and answer omo ye Ghana for any group of people irrespective of wherever they are coming from omo capacity to take on our law enforcement issues agencies no a major issue maye now whether they are Nigerians or wherever they come from to the extent that omo does to tell your crop for no another source of major concern your law enforcement agencies no what we need to be doing say are the law enforcement agencies in the position to curtail threat no mo di ba na why mo na omo wo omo chia omo supply ammunitions ni mo omo na ejuma na omo ye no who are those who are the ultimate beneficiaries of the illegal activities across your forest and many of these places. If the law enforcement agencies and I said the state is willing to deploy to curtail the ultimate beneficiaries, omo supply arms ni mo omo ye the beneficiaries, direct beneficiaries. Omo ye the leading figures omo wo enema omo try omo say go do adam or ha mukwa ha ko yese then omo so omo kata omo so say ya person me komenya anasa ya homa so say law enforcement agencies for kraba ho a ye mamo right inside for shebe bia amount for destroy forest no water bodies no if they can line them all up and take care of them in a manner that is appropriate with our laws in this country and it's to me other than that we are creating the premises as one share ya one day your best no now the little threat na eba no na ba be a bigger one and no over here a lot of resources and a lot of capacity, a lot of energy and a lot of numbers in order to deal with it and that could be a major security outbreak amaya
Orokumo de mame fanko akemda na watwi ya mu emerante amiensa according to reports no 2 foreigners and 1 Ghanaian na broad daylight we akete no mukura dade se kan pa branta obi akura mienu na womudidwa wo ho ewo odamonte so no signal be na send my son say according to reports no some 98 ya Galamsey for
and number one because Galamsey involves a lot of money and a lot of resources any latest confusion the slightest confusion it can degenerate into chaos and one aspect of the chaos any near show of TV news no and answer the highest level of confusion and chaos is what you are watching now one of them your foreigner and answer 2 your Ghanaians the lack in say other American no work from home they did not come to join their colleague if they had come to join their colleague and the foreigner is dead and answer 1 Ghanaian is dead that whole area could degenerate into chaos because there will be reprisal attack and as a foreigner wherever he is coming from say the crop was that area now for open street fight now in an open street fight there nobody wins nobody loses by the time law enforcement to call for de-escalation exercise no a number of people could have died and this is one of the typical issues of public disorderliness and now say issues of chaos when it comes to criminal organizations and criminal activities and issues that got to do with high levels of resources the slightest confusion to me degenerate into chaos.
Mwana muka boboro fa kasa say impunity omode ya de no anohye I say like there's some power behind them and now say ade no ma ye say do kan na kwada wasoro or stubborn boy who yen bibia emfa ne ho e kama ye say sana gradually sa Galamsey ne hu samsami e de be san say wo mo ye Galamsey no dodo no aso mo ye bibia do danka hoot je say wo mo nsuro mo mfere dombe ye no mbe ye petemu enfo mo ho kra wonyi ni say ebe sa ma bedu ba bi no sa asodin anase soro mo asoro ene so mo yom niam a wo mu nsuro no se nipa tu na ya tu be ka ho be wiase no na they are more ebia be diama say ye betumi a control wo mo.
Me know you are doing that regard. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of watching. Say the bia obesha space. Say what is happening there. Now I know you are very difficult. We have a lot of manpower, and the earlier you curtail it, the better. The earlier say we can say yenka we stop the earlier the better. So one share na krama by Dani lion. The energy to stop a lion is higher than the energy to stop a wild dog. And to say, say the best one know as early as possible with limited resources. No, it's a G and Sana a core high. Now the threat level is near high. Now the total number of people involved is very high. Strategy is very different. Approach is very different. And in that regard, the number of casualties levels is very high. Irrespective of the fact is over here a lot of resources to be able to curtail it.
Answer Agya Kwabena wakono maybe sa way e de atwato esan say yes say asam kase baba frank ensuso ene mo na mo kan brofo say Martin Ocean they say a drop of water ena edin mu kakra man near Mighty Ocean into so kuku ena man ye esubonten ye hu de asi ewo ometifido mantam mu a basisa de ahoho akwantifo tu kwan so dia fokora ebo ho ban no nipa bitumi ko kye wo so tutuo de bro mo nipa miensa hwero mo nkwa ma wo mo a edi sa awurka san so mu nso bi hwero mo nkwa wonyi ni se sa ne ma ekoso yi no send signal bi de a kire se ya ma ya ho me so ntamo a ahwe betu generate de aba ase ha.
Definitely me know ya again. No, we should be I see na etoko wo dada. And for a very long time now Boko I am very peaceful. So there's no police for any BNI for ya dear papa. O mama Boko ya very peaceful. Ama for to me ko ama for to me ba. Near offenders and I say assailants in here and say they were testing the pulse of the soldiers. Na no public safety procedure breach been a see ya. Soldiers na answer how ye na omun ye ne omun ye no. Na number 2, omun say how would the soldiers respond? Say soldiers response ne very swift, any very aggressive, any very precise no. Then they will turn Boko back into the former days. Insecurity a major issue. Security breaches ne very high. Near ye hu ni say soldiers ne there in a sense there. Assembly say no, they did what they are supposed to do. And Chebiana only did the same parade. The free Bogaho and I said, BBIC Bunduri hold the back Tamalia, Omo Haj, Omutimi Koye. Next, I say in security management, sometimes breaches to me back. Now, how you respond and how you react within the shortest possible time. Between the time I see any 72 hours, your responses and the way you go about it, and then the bed decided whether the criminals are winning or the criminals will run away. Because Agya Kwabena, the criminals and the law enforcement officers, they all fight for who controls the public space. And it's the law enforcement officers and no munyama year, now the criminals are dominating. The law enforcement officers is your munyama year, then the criminals run back to their hiding places. And in the area of Boko, any breach in the SC, that was exactly what happened. What we are also saying is that parade and I say escort, the procedure has been there for a long time and Oma apply for society. Until that day, as part of investigation, Ombeshe said, where did the breach came from and who was in charge of the procedure? And then I see then and that is a different ball game in an area where there's conflict as compared to Galamsey that has become a national menace that is being destroying the water bodies and the forests all over the place. I think overall we are doing far better, but I think we can also do far better. And the security agencies need the support of everybody so that they can do far better than what we are doing now. Other than that, it's a challenge, and I think they are ready for the challenge, and they are doing well.
All right, Richard Kumada no pay better CP no woman. That's papa. Yedase Richard Kumado security consultant in ni din komo efa nsema hodo bebre fa ye bambo ho san say the entia na aya na ma adwene no mani wo ye bambo no say asemu fidwo a na bo akramanya baby di nitutu na se wakenkan krata na se wahwe niama esisi wa man hodo a basabasa ekoso wo no stebia omukumu no ho a aya na yemba shisho kakra o niama bi ho nti nintam eni hia bigidi say ye ne se beboa papa awie mabedwafo betena se ama madi mi nkomo kakra awie nti afi na bra so se me bo mu din na me do mu adi se de be ya mo betumi ehu wo mo na afi ya hyase na yedi enkomo minifa so engineer Kwame Prempe oye NPP nintini pa na ne abre se wo mo koto aba na nsan ya osi ahenefo no monkan no se national organizer dibre no Kwame se nani abre pa mo de manu a obesesa niema ama NPP 2028-2029 niema ebesesa ama motumi ababa mu bi nti Kwame Prempe etimi nfa Kwame akwaba
amnia
bia boko
na me adom boko
de radiase ena mi benkum sonso odonyafo Bernard Bediako Bedu oyemna se bedwani de mamanfo wa akwati abatum pesua so osan ele lawyer ni ona bo akwaba
yeja
em say dai di kan me no hia wo media so nie okay
you team them abaha a couple of times but what the first time
wa ba show we so
show
good and you say do ba so ntie mo pa and the oto no so Dr. Bismarck Odum Saki or development communication expert na next say wa ben papa ye kan kita hodie ne emputu kita hodie ne mahodo a wa ben doc so abeka yensa me say any day kan no so mi sia no anti doc akwaba
ya
bibia boko
wa cho we ba
de radiase ye shase enfan free enkoma ye ne owura Richard Kumodo di ye ene de siye e wa chem da ene de siye e wo takwai nsoye mu sojafo Galamsey ye generally no sa Galamsey semsemi no ye kwani say no honorable metuma ka so kra do free Galamsey area ye kwani say ni say abonten so pa na mnanti bitumi kuta brantai pa aye de siye no sheda nye normal sa me de me from the bim say sheda nye normal sa ye ndey
yo eja ma chimbio
me joso
memfa nchi amfa ma ahwefonia ne titru ne akotiaman o madaro manager de wo mrahye bidwo ti me ba fidie so say osem chia aminchia menuan mo so a meniom ne wo studio ne wa pamfonia je senia wo ka asem no it's a generally no ye hwe Galamsey any security issues ifi emuba me fano me chichem kakra na ya hwe personally bia na me background intia me mpe where obi di bone a yen hwe bone no ne ascribe to niema fufro obisa lawyer for time pesade because there will be say vicarious liability crime be no ha vicarious liability wo untumi nkodi bone down we nka say ya asumasi ene ba just say we lead evidence that say e bia say enumpu kra ni pa kro ni e bia be charge na e bia for adequate charge to say e bia abatement and as conspiracy but what we ye no na ye enunti na mema example we be to say ammunitions any even the drugs ni ade emrana ene say why be choose crowd possession yen can ownership the way be choose crowd no edi bone because emrana hwe ye na okobiem bebre say ye hwe ni wura ahwa ye hu ni wura da enti make then America make akosi say adanse o ho sania ye hu videos yi bi o a me ntibi kra nhwe and second cry and I had the nam near 28. I mean, it's an ISO. Eti makai near Prissy for so at the Abanum, a Yekibi regional command at the Abba. So share or more release the year. Oma mo Galamsey so.
Okay.
Oma nka bibia ye crime no. And omo de omo hwe. Sebe so kran de nam ye kwan mu na wo toto na wo de twitwa nkofo de. Sa de kra ye wo sa wo yes no. Oba beche. And so say sanya omo movie sweetly etimi ache enipa idi sa nyamra semi ye bebo ma baso. Se ne kwan so ano no. San say chese me nim ne ebeba na ede enko a na we kra sekan na o re ya ba ko afa kan nsa no o de sekan ne to ho na afa odwane abi no bia ni ho a owo eduro wo sa na ma we so e kan we be kan so let's be careful now intermediate ni ayehu ye no ni ye be hwese prosecute and prosecute o se brom so o ma attorney general mrem because ye lawyer for ye so edru say ya ene enso ye bam ti eden ya anya pa no ma kofa lawyer for ebi on mo ya enya baza ye prosini no mpempi no omo nta anya lawyer for nti ya na ye te say ya brom so omo ma attorney general mrem na omo hwe na omo prosecute o because videos no na we nya obi ene gina be bi no o video ye ene ehu ya na se ne ma ye kosuni obi people are helpless because they kind of always go be able connect you say be dwan enti se nyame adom ne anya video ati say ya form set example ya o man ya pet sa ne ma no kwati true ne foreigners you see ayet say kru yam rani but em rawo what mean fi baby akeke na mo yes ECOWAS you can have that restricted access to be country for a number of weeks or months, but absolute to the extent so bakra oba be adwuma no taxes are na otu ya nkrata abempo are you even known so wo kuri mu but so haba na sabe ye kan ebi ne South Africa de ntimi megina meme te say me angel ana Ghana ye angel yenso ye wo ba bi eni nkrata no kure wo mu no but da wo ko ba bi that's on nkrata asem nya ye de ho sie ye nkotu ye ho ye nkome ma ya beti so nkoye ni ayenye because obi krom na wo na wo ko ye nzo no sabe nkrata akra wo hia de ye adwuma no ni eti mpempi Ghana fo e wa ma no ne sane amnim ze onimi o pie kra ye careful o hwe ne ho so yie sane e be ye onkonya asem eti that in itself no enye bone entirely because yenso ye ko ba bi ko ye ni nkrata but o pasa be fa wo besie na me tene ohun me yes anya ma metwetwe sekan wo yekuru mu ase mfa me ade
onyi ni se ye ka ho bi na mana se sanse odipa no waba no ya ye adehye no ya ma odipa na hu se obetumi ni opebia sanse se bibi bakra na obi anka hwe nti no ahye na ono so kutupa se me ka be sibso se if you want one and say kurabon se krofobia mu piepia phone cases ebinum ne ye wo hu na ukoma onye ga ne wo mo a ese oya de ye wo mo a machine bobo mu ko hu wo te se wo twene ho a ye jeje ho masan be fa ya se o na ona bo me
chief ni aka no kreto na oni Ghana fo ankasa unim ye Ghana fo mpe ho asem lo ebinum kura ba ha omo hye Ghana fo so obi atedi ni omo ye no enyuma kura bi se bia o yes adwuma kura na nso ye bia o hye so o aye Ghana ni no kwan bebre so enso Ghana ni no ayedi yesu ni eban no eno na ye dete ho ye mpe ho asem it is obi bana o me ma no ho so kakra na ye yi na Ghana ni no afo adonim. There is a certain reality that we must speak about. Ye kroi, ye wonyuma bi o me person mabubodi, ye wonyuma bi o ha. Wo de bia wonim ni American. Enne wo penipa ye kra wonya. Enne enyuma bi o ha. Wo penipa ye wonya. Inti people travel. Akofɛ ni perfume baby. Me person mabubu e de omba. Ade na ye kazel yenhwe no ma magi ekura amfane ade ye mu bi ekoko form de omba e ba be ye because omu nya nipa nya ebi ye fom djuma ebi ye mpacho wo hu o nya nipa no wae na ni nia no we must me put the come anyhow. So bad be your hoboko timu a see am so your baby a enkrata asem ken adwen ba mo saba na mo saba be di ani. I mean that cannot be accepted, and I would want to believe say yene of course ECOWAS had so be a boni bi a yebetimi atry no ha yene oman bi ani say nzi be yen try mo ha na yen convictium if there need be na me no kra da bia ya na me kan say ba ne say ya atene am ye ni aye ho be do prosecution na obi en
yeah.
And so mesre monson central we drew say ya ye be pa mo che mo ma mo ni achi na mo me hu ne ekosi ye so chena conviction ba mo me kamiente say asumesi ya convict no because we ask you to be kwa na masa aba system nim na ohu ne kra won to be nkyese say ni pe ya convicting anaze ebia enti yewo enya afidie so ne yewo TV so ntinsam no nyani nia na obetu but eniema bia say nipa na eye wo krom no eto da bia look ma ne ye wo baby we need American just to say yeah West Africa han kura amamaya and kaye ne ye nipa ba kun ken say hwe ba no buy kuro mu ane mo mbeye no enye emfata iti ama ehu kakra ba no na wa bi say o mo ba rent dan ye ya ne mo direct ubi sase nipa ro fi hin na de na obeye na de mpo paper krata be no eto na bi krampa security yine kan impersonation o tibi kwa body bi tse o kan ho e bi tibi body tse so nim se okokaza e bi ofi ha me pese me bo man bi din e bi ehu be ka nti o mtimi ye tse o kan ho se enye ye ni ane yetitwi e di se wanka twi no nche se onye Ghana ni so won e di e basa e fi ayetitim ye niom nete ye nwuma ye niom na ye but the wiasia no mo ye say enti from that angle no near my question that's what I would say but with Galamsey generally yes it's a problem ye say Galamsey no a problem na me partisan no pay I just will be pushing me but ye say it is a national problem aban beba sa problem no e see ye hwe near resolving I must also add, and please bear with me. Let's get from somebody I mean fee mining community. Yantias yes, and your mining beyond na Galamsey.
Sure.
And your mining beyond na Galamsey. Or that's me menya briefing kakra. Baby omu ye juma na Galamsey site. Ni pa ne concession minimum. Area hono. Let me brief you. And sasane fa kofa spread around across about 5 districts. Denchembo, Kwaibi Brim Central, Brim South Kakra, yes, Achemansa, and Sahun mining areas and a fire GCD concession. GCD a Ghana consolidated diamonds. Oh, one crater that's all. But what happens is that GCD it will be on for a tributor system. Tributor system in fact an import GCD Nankasa doesn't mine. An import Nankasa mine, but I hate to say extra good. Oma twetwa nsasen de ama temamufo na omo na etu etu kwa wonko hu GCD ankasa ho bo omo security for ho omo personnel wo ho no a according to arrangement omo ne minus na ye no omo nso chefa no omo hwe se enti ebi abakwa ko hu se minus na ekoso but se won need further details abadwen se ni ya Galamsey but Galamsey ne omo mienu ni oni paper kra a otu Galamsey na your paper bone to ye according to Nshisheno. It's baby I'm no by adwene say GCD for more money say your concession or more money send your mood to no because if you are now crater ah the man baby akwan nipa ne fa so a wo tu no it's yamra because you see nsuo hu mai into there can never be any legal mine and legitimate mine e wo nsuo but what I say it is a only akoka say GCD concession no to nsuo mai cannot be true. But niema we need to train people to go to site no obi kura lease say wo ye military officer wo ye dan you tio the crowd say wo dim say ne interpreting map o be down say police na kura no no baby ayede ama no ha no otu I know so obi o ti bi je a lease proper lease wo the bibia but baby ankasa ayede ama no onya kora ntui not the number baby because him say soldier ni over but no the lease they no to me interpret side plan ene we hu say nye ho na wo no but what so a problem a esasa asoman no ye hwe na ye deal with say ye no partisan NDC MPP nessa we will lose it because perpetrators they be great foreigners ebi a foreigners on to abakra wo kro mo ni party bia enti say ye just antokwa na ye ko na omo edi boni ne gusu di a ye koya na ye ba ne say ya na ye di akọ enti me de mesre minim say ye aban no ye niema de 9 months ye o madwuma say ne ye ken but akodu bon say Galamsey na trick you livelihood matters people are earning a living from it enti say soldier for ko na omo ko say munya adwuma na eno na ma eto da bia nipa before say ye wiase ne depend was adwuma is ready kun yen preko do they face the security officers and that yes apa na ma de na yehu because you see eso the human face untimi en tutuo fe nku obia na ne na hwan na obo ne ho ban no but nipa no so say me dem am kwan ko enya sa de akume enti ayese besepa eni ko bia ha yen handle ye but I am optimistic say enye bad sa yeguso but yen yirim na yen hwe se ye betimi eradicate Galamsey no na obi enka se ma obi entu agudu but to ne kwan so na ye ni aye ho so
Kwame emi se okun ye ne ho asam ne aka ade sa nyina no na niam afoforo apie free sa de ekoso no emu se oman no we be say me di kaka say me say ye rakandapa e kan say Galamsey na ekoso no e threat to national security oye minister Muntaka Mubarak ono so oye minister ono so aka say ade na ye threat to national security meaning say ade no ye be for nim say ehu e betum dia ho haba nanso ne handling no ayese nia ye som ye jemu ye ayese kokonsa ye se ye kon so ye hu ni baby aduru amrante tu kura se kan ye we o kine bia be na nya akwese kan na koda ni tu
eja no kre but ansa na no ma menchia ahwefo eni minu ama me no mu ehia wo ha ni UTV mo amu mo ina mama ya sakwenya ti ahwefo edi enkomo de to so mienu ma me fa nchia kese ai di mi free Dr. Baumia eho enfama Ghana for enyina se ochiamo na Ghana ye di no ma komantu ni o no ma tutu kan ma 2028 otimi aba abenye free kwa so yi de to so eja se o hwe atare a hye biansa kwa me ko substantive yi no o hwe atare a hye bia anopa yi ko health work
oh okay
na ye de ye pese ye ma atumamufo ye do attention about drug abuse o mai mu ho o hwe no ma ade a ye kan ho asemi se mbrante miensa twe asekan me ye sure se nkenye bibi no ma fa
no nya
kudu nya sa asem no na drug abuse ade a edi o mai nya na de ehu o mu se the youth no mum about 70% of drug abusers in Ghana no youth, most of them in tertiary institutions and some of them in the secondary cycle institutions. In Tiena no Gempa school for no AEC was say Mumia Nantinfa is Legon in Portemu. Na yentri attention embrasa drug abuse. So intending na whom was okay colorful we draw attention to the drug abuse.
All right.
And we na ye kan ho asem
sempa.
Eja
Kwame.
Yemede pa say minua lawyer lawyer de yeto na bana na mo ni peso aso nti obo no mo de no atimi they had advantage and he won, so I congratulated him and I congratulate him again today. But they say afei edie yewo NDC ni bia ofi say Galamsey me enye no amanyosem afei edie omahu say Galamsey no enya amanyosem eja eni ahwefo mo be kaya towards 2024 ede be pa na NDC fo anka say ebi ka kodu say na akufo do mom ene gina say do na pitim eno ye Galamsey na say akufo do person stop Galamsey ya 1 week we wait na stop Galamsey omo the solutions ni de bibia baye na Ghana 40 yate Akufo-Addo ne nkrofo na Galamsey yate munye tumi no monko na mon stop Galamsey 16 months ni lawyer ene yete ya ka kire say ne memfa nya ma sem lawyer ada asodaye enya ni swade hunu say Galamsey de enya ma na sem na MPP for ka say yesremo Galamsey no ade a ehu ade a edi omani nya ade a yesi nyina ye ba ne kabum ne hwe ekwan ya betumi de afa so omo se da omo nteye we kan say me da nyame ase so omo hu the reality no say Galamsey no enye tra kwa na ka lawyer de kan person ase de ko nim de we tete enso me sure say me hu ne de ba me sure say no ka hu bi na omo ye amanyosem with Galamsey no eja Galamsey no in 2017 I eba aban mu no na Akufo-Addo say sa Galamsey we ade a threat to national security ade a bit me di o maninya inti ekwan a yesi e fa so ni etimi solve ade bi yesi e fa so me no I equated Galamsey in Ghana with the war on drugs in South America, Colombia and Mexico near there. Sada de netie because ade bi asika wo bi na nkofo nya ho sika bia no wonya ho campaigns and drug laws you say Galamsey laws e Ghana ha omo no mo wa kade omo wa konde omo timi police for ni soldier for asiso say ka say ye bop so omo nko sisi a sa na de no impempenso e kono no na say ya hwe yie na say ya mpe anu odura so obeka ya na Akufo-Addo ka say bumi enjai omo say enye mining bia na Galamsey ye was small scale mining na omo nkrata na omo bibia ma say na lawyer echichiri mu no say unyo obi a unim before in terms of reading the map near you na okọ na say the map show so ohun difference enti Akufo-Addo ka say yen jai mining bia for now ni empe kwan ya betimi a stop Galamsey si etimi nya enhyehyɛ ni wie a na ya sa babiem na ya sa ye ehyahyɛ de enhyehyɛ toto akwan mu ni yi ɛna say omo Galamsey communities no beto omo ase obu ha na no aduane na abono but sometimes they see nya botre ene omo tisi so edi na Akufo-Addo term di Ghana edi abina term say ade no manu aduane age afre omo ensem na ndis vozo ko hye omo chi e mo omo kutupa say be ka samre no enke nyina e ka bomu ene ye ba say asoman ene ye pay anu adura bi ka samre nke etimi stop no but omo de be ya amanyosem e ma be du baby no ye be ko 2020 no omo timi ko gina Galamsey site say wa abina chi watum because of Galamsey bi e ba e be you wow Galamsey was site bia na e ba e be ma nwa ya adwuma omo promise omo ama MP before lose all Galamsey communities omo de ya amanyosem na say be o ye dey ya nyina na ye amanyofo we are politicians say mentimi anwe ne aba and so adu hu na sa dwempa o mitirimu no mintimi emfa mboa o man no in the politician bia ni ho a otena ho no luzu aba no betena wako ade a oya e ma no luzu aba no setimamufo se ekwan a na Akufo-Addo fa so Galamsey no omo mpa ene no obejai that mumfo no omo de omo pere ne aya aba omo ena ama edimu ama Galamsey abesese no etimi se eye me de se afede omo akoda asondaye ehun se sa asem na Akufo-Addo ne Ghana for ene MPP for ka no Dr. Bawumia ye ka no afemo hu se ye no kore insese me mfa nya ama no sem na ye de mfa nya ama no sem ya ye krado so ma ye krado so omo ne ye betena se as Ghana for enye ye nko a ene CSOs ene yifo ye betena se ni empe solution ni solve Galamsey ya ye krado ene betena se na emum ye be se omo ka e kire Ghana for se asem na omo ka ye in opposition no omo sa so omo boa nyesa na netie to mpa Ghana for acho mpa info acho ya krado ene omo frɛ MPP ni bia including parliamentary am ready so omo beba na ya pe solution to you know but they should admit to Ghanaians more than throw and the Ghana for dream some of them stop obi kra call I think it was Sam George or say my president 1 week obi tuna so Galamsey maba 16 months ni boso me pole do sia say do so nkra na ewomi e say Galamsey no aye west e say wona mo ba bia na bi ni bia no ebi wo ho nti gaja me first submission here sa na meka okay me da nyame ase say NDC for da so daye say ensem na no mo kan opposition no na nya no kore na Galamsey die enya amanyasem Galamsey die esi nyina ye ba na ye ka bom ne enso ya krado ba do mo kama Ghana for ntia ase so mutwa o mo ntro wie na ye krado ti be ye djuma mo
Doc, media na pepini say bibi say si na say kan wasem a bibi a me di kan de madwene ko ene the international community we are say aman hodo no adwen obinya organization so munu say Ghana is a peaceful country ntino eno ne yade bo ahusafo ne say ye de asundwe man na say obi etumi hu say enkrofu kra because baby I mean say sane matasi ni ye baby a okon asi like say the shows Lelino ne Liberia na ena hu say sane matasi but say ebeye say ekoso obi ka say no man na mo say ho yasundwe man na ho ni ana na no so ti no impact a ebenya awo man ni din so awa manane no me didi kan de to so me na mpesa ma me ti wadwen che ho no say ede na sese ye na Galamsey no bebia adrui no yetumi tu hwan mo den potin na sese ye ebinom na ebinom ka say it should be something like ya Joas kan no ene say sorry am say affordable biba yini pa bi niam bi free mo ansa na me man ka shoot and kill na so for dem anema e den na so say doc
me da say Agya Kwabena me chia ahwefo nyina na me amen kofo e wo wasa dominase na adwuma koba fo nyina ene wapamfo a omo aha Agya wabisa asem na mekasa no medi kan ka se eman yan kasa no emese ye Galamsey ne eniema fofora e wose ye ni ko no ye di agro dinti amekasa ne se ade a ye ka ho asem nei enye nne ne ye be start yo me do be call yan kasa UTV on the 4th of April 2023 we posted video bi on my Facebook page. There's a known Galamsey tag a friend of Kwame Atwasare or war in Zima area ho okaya MJ police for track ejiji omutu bi mu bunkoto ye panacho Kwame jade wuye ye ho asem saa e bae ye nyina ye hunu ye abaya te so hunu ye security agencies hunu ye media for ye so hunu ye e de na ye fa
sa kwaro say o ma jai no so na mo
going forward last year around September the same Kwame Atwasare on any tax any another person your friend no last hero that's on any tax in a crash Emma Kwame Atwasare ni nua impo free mu it was a whole massacre ebesin de to say the lawyer kan no eduru a ede ne ya afa ho eba say ya bete ho asem na emom no emu no ye kan ho asem nyina awie a ye ndi akire biem enne Kwame Atwasare make na asem odaso ne nam internet so kasa edin komo edi ni see investigation na kosi sen
se ko man bi so pa nanka obi etumi atwase police for soje police for tu ma police for bunkotoje pache wa
yanka wasem 2023 ninti esa be see 2025 inti de me pese me kan say the tar culture sa security at the end e normalize o na ye ne enka no krenkyere ye ho sa tar culture security because enye be brain e koso Galamsey site o me wo interest o Galamsey site o na minim say aban no eni nje ho Ghana fo eni nje ho a mebo me ho ban mebo me ho ban so a me mfa bidibia menya bia bebo me ho ban enti se be bia menya tu bia me de be ma boys ama ma bo me ho ban e bi ko as far as umkoji nuo enti boys ya make o masemi so mba internet no so no mo kasa omukomu sidie bansere omu esisi ni inti enya even the occultism and all those things nina ewo ho inti no ibisa say yempanimfo ana yen central for ene ya ye kan yen hunu ni satam ya na ene ne yebeka ene de esi inti no ewo achimoda inti yesi ye kan ho asem ye ka wi a ebe ye den from baby I me free by as a development communications aspect now. Aya mpem bebre we ni say your friend be root cause. What is the root cause of the problem? A day na day ade we eba. And one hwe holistically I say dua si ho na wo hwe dua no from na haban ene ni dua na esi ho no ubetwa so ye keken obi be pre ho akoye bibi atwa so ya prosecute obi ya ye bibi but a non solve problem no eni kwan se galamsey no ye de ye amanyosem se MPP ni NDC time ne ko soro MPP time ne ko soro e wo se eho ene ye hweka eja de wo se yehunu ne se e wo se agitu mu se galamsey no anase gold na diamond no de ye mrantie na anase nkofo mo yes adwuma no ye den it contributes to the economy of the country nemum na ekwan o mo fa so ya say ye resources no and na ye hwe say de omo ye de be ma enchiriba ho akere mo e de how be ba ye so nti ekwan be so de be fa so aye no they said the lawyer can me so me free Galamsey community me can Galamsey mining community the whole of Wasa land me free Wasa dom na say ma me ye hema ho weekend me kwa yi ho say o sorry na pa 5 na ohunu mranti abodom pem nam kwa ho e kwa adwuma ma hye o Valentin buta o nya akwadifo o mo pa adwuma ye nti o mo ye de o mo ye no nti say ye ka say ye ko Galamsey ho ye ko ne sen you cannot sit in Accra and look at a problem ewo Wasa ewo Adansi North ewo na nka say obetena Accra a solve problem no me dey bia me ka say the problem the solution with Galamsey it lies with the people in the Galamsey site it lies with them but your mo that solution no wo ye wo ye ko ye ni momo eno bia na eye ade na omo nkofo ne ye no mani ji hu no some are mining responsibly
yeah
a day na yen as a nation no ye behwe ne so okay ade no ye den a gold wo anipa na asase so gold wo na asase so no de e kom de no a sebe tafrache onya adwuma nya obekwa akope bi no so o de e ma ne ho ahenhan no na so ka che me say mini krata bi e wo se me fa krata bi so sa krata na kura no process ni minhunu na ma me nkoya bra se ma me bu afu bi wo akire ha bekwa akotu na makope gold ni bi wo ho the bi analogy am ye ne say resources say wo me vicinity no aban enso e wo so obo am na me take advantage of it na me ma example oko fishing sector government gives subsidized premise fuel
Edema farafo
so mon kopo na mon koche na momra du be bi yese net no kra na enye papa ye mom nets to the outboard motors ye bo mo say mon make sure say match fish and match nam no match ni ye bo mo ye akuafo to da ye mom subsidized fertilizers any near make ka ho omo nyina ne dey no ye so they are taking advantage of the resources in their community omo a omo te Wasa omo te mining communities no mo so good wo masase na de na ya mo ndunya hwe ma me na se me so mi kotumi good na se o ka se Galamsey nti waso apsojijafo efrin kan ba ma no aduane nko ade a me de hwe me gire me de hwe me mba me de hwe me maame me de hwe mabusia no se wuo na mewu enti ne ye hunu e wo site ho no enti de meka se yemfa manyosem ne nto nchen na yenhwe ekwan a yebefa so a de ekoso no hwe gold yema akosuru ya ye kasa ya ade yenim gold free mines ni mu eba eni nim de free Galamsey site eba wani betimi akere and say kasa the tracker bi wani betimi akere nti yeni agi a ne mekoye in terms of gold no ye hunu say it comes with it associated problems nti I was say ye di ni hwe ho no yi ne kasa okay yenjintum say ade ne de enyaba but Galamsey no na ye nana no mutu dadaada wo
yeah
ukodum kwa we mrebi na ukọ plan so a machines so a omutu gold no but na you know your friend is saying enso ne na ensay e de na no mo ye ukọ Australia ne ya omutu gold no wo ensuo no so but enseye enti edien na say asesa even yenya new technology ne edien na asesa eno na ewo se ye hwe na ye regulate ye proper stakeholder engagement at that level, at those community level no na ye bisa nkofo no ye involved ne ne omo trust ye nkasa ade ni aye problem na emom no ensunsanso ni ya hwe ya ye ja ohaw oye ni amanchirimba edien na ye ya nkasa ye na ye ni ye betimi aya ye betimi anya efom agudie no na enso ye be ni yi and ebe mo wa say omo na omo ye sa ade no ye bi na solution na free ho na so enti sao si ye ka say ye yes Galamsey and as stakeholder engagement about Galamsey ye ni ba bi ye no enkrai ha ni ape hotel bi na yakotena ni afrefre representative from various CSOs no na omaba mabotai na say ye ka say am say last year President Mahama Shia CSOs what say ya frɛ Galamsey
for no wo mo aye adwuma na kasa
di wo akohia adi nkomo sɛ wo kɔ Galamsey no wo tenkran kɔ mikrom kɔhwɛ ahomachi be hu mrantie nti wo do ufin kan ye beba no o mabo mo ho twɛn wo nti it's a big threat to security eno de ye gitum but there will be free and they say abai ne hwɛ ye no confrontation ye no te say you can shoot and opa yem pass law shoot and kill it will even be worse because obi is ready to die to do that and then ukọ bebrami modin ukọ kroni bi so a uwramu a you can see Galamsey tu ewo ho but e was here hwe ne say ade no abeka ye nya sika film as a country enti ye sere wa ha ye ba ha na emuna e no say ye de ye nhwe say okay say ye sere wa ha na mfa so be ba so dia ye nkohwe ne yenye ne yi emrante ne die any problem no e de ne betimi afa ye ne technologies be ne be hia e kwan be so be hia education o be hia capacity building e de ne be ya e be ma ade no ayeyi said e be ya related problems no emba enye security nkwa na say na lawyer na na kan se ni na ka na say jumeko be a French challenger height e ko takwa e ko fa over 40 alatafo ma they are into for those things and you know of all the places why because the economy no drug culture to say the menu and kind they traffic drugs because jumadena bebree no and then that day and tokoya ukui ani me ya cheseka ya medwane this the papa kai o cheseka na se bijira ho a nyama ho dey bibi nyema bebree ka
na bibi ne push ma ye who can say me about said ye two gold no technologies bo Australia din and prompt me prekope e ma producers din komo wa chire na ye hwe okwan o mo fa so tu o mo de no na ye hwe se de yesu yetu ye de wa enso so no ye hwe o mo de no so no mutu ni fa na o mo de ba ko ni we otu no nsuom okwan afa so a odo tu no gold na no nti ono so eye ne de otu ne de kama nso no so na machine si ense machine si ba bi o tu ni ano ohohoro wo ho a na onyane gold no so wo ho a onko ba bia e ho na ye wie be yi Ghana so ye de machine sesi nso so ado so dwuma e ha
yesu
etu wo ho a
ye yi wo
a yesu ye die ni etutu mu say I don't know
nti say ye wo yi che if we are getting that much from that sector why can't we invest that much in that sector as well ya nyesa ne ye ka say Galamsey ni yen declare na aye okon say yen aban eni omo a aban bia beba aban bia ne ombeko and it has become last year Media Foundation for West Africa it released a report it is a 26 pages report and it's talking about illegal mining and niema yewo ekura ewomo. One of the things Media Foundation can report ne hu ne say so omunya sika no sometimes to legitimize their business or member business line, they launder it through political financing. They finance politicians. It is a politician. Now say ya frame say ya finance me. Na mabe MP and na say mabe na a chilo catch me say Madam for Galamsey ni na minim ne site no minim ne excavators minim ne bibia men kokko a me kwa kokko. Onkoko. Inti say MPs no go free mining sectors no be kan ko omuni mo ye nyina ye nuanom ye nim ye ho e bi ko ni nyini ye e na we fa ha na we so fa ha inti say na ma benya di bredi na aka che me say me di bredi inti no me nua na me nim say wo nya ayi wo ho no e be ye den inti ye ma ye nunu ye ho ne ye nsere ye njintum say ade no ye so ye de no say na tie nyame hira ye e kwan be so ne ye be fa ye bi ni yie na aye nhira amaye na enkoye no me na ye hunu ni sisi ya no eno na e wose ye hwe
eno na sese ye hwe ampa me da se pa se ade na ben ye hwe mu tan ene ya na o yes
chief minua nanka nkomo we se ne started no na so me ekone sa so ya ade no fita na ade tuntuma atato
the credit okay
oh you see and yes say as far as I know, of course, at the end of the day, NDC will also be judged by efforts.
Yeah.
Omode eco share. As I'm not here, cannot say, not me partisan, but they're political. Yeah. Because some we are at what can in same or need to me so or they ye be for Galamsey. A buyer or tesono. On our control security, on our policies or the ejuma. It may have me say obeka say NDC aban eseso omo hwe no mo ye Galamsey na no ma nye ne eseso omo ye have me we would analyze it but you see na me pese bi o so ebe no overly partisan in the sense that say we are the partisan be brain na perpetrators no wase da bia me ka say OSP asemi me kan ba bi say enipa OSP say wadi dwuru ema rice scandal ya asem ne da ho na OSP ni attorney general just fiat out the back of a moko and na so be a degree motive in nursery. So but you see, so there is nothing wrong with going back. But me na I'm in penance, I just am pushed to look at the record. There was nothing wrong with an analysis of how you handled the Galamsey sector. It is obi I can want some say if you are handle in year. Depending on argument, there is nothing wrong with it. You can make same argument today. Because it was completely, with the greatest respect, but it was completely irresponsible, say, with the year from Galamsey, Obesako promulgating an ally. My Quincy and Kotu Forest. Who does that? Yeah. Already, no, Adia Soki, the faha no muswe na ye ho yira no was that the period ye na wo kase president Kufuor aka nyachi na why ne tu ne fo say afei the forest na ye bo ho ban no okoye mra see ye makwan see ye Kotu Forest o record no na me mpese ye free ho aban no ka ho ne criticize mo no say ye ba asade we within the first few months in our administration no ye be ye fio ye repeat here. No, me boy, you repeat it. Chief boy, incoming organizer, you repeat it and no pet yano.
Also,
you see, for me, we can always look and I make us say at the end of the day, NDC, in the meantime, your 4 years, there is nothing wrong with Obewaha. An analysis of how NDC handled Galamsey. Everything is right with it. It's being because NDC the crab police, or the crab military. And now the nine Mosaba, on the blue water guard, the expectation and it is her analysis of how far those things have helped, and there is nothing wrong with it. It is your analysis of your period, and then yes, or kind of say MPP as a whole. But Nana Danko Kufuor, Abaimu, any painful, and there's so much at the Buano, Ecosi saying there was nothing wrong with it. The Minjindi said President Kufuor na ne pen say sa menes nentwaso. But for whoever advised him, and what that singular act made, that is where I see say he lost it. So already yebre. Now go yemra as afedie. Forest na ye bo ho ban no. Ye nkonkotu for ayiwom. Enne ye gina hey. Won and some people are kind of ye and ye gina hey. San semna na di aba be wie ne. Ope organizer. So a national organizer. And then we incoming national chairman. We incoming national chairman mo party ni yeti. Is on trial for Galamsey. No cry entro. Mo party ni ti incoming national chairman. It's on trial. Ojina court. E wo Galamsey semo. This is how far we went. And then yes, state let me prosecuting the case. Emma court no agiatum account defense. It is a defense now he will be convicted for Galamsey, incoming national chairman. This is the record you left. It is your baby near say, yes, make us no parties and say, my young question, a bino, a drama all year to fight it. I will support any days NDC, young question them, said Diana Moye. Yes, there is nothing wrong with it because who can't go on our order military for. It is for order military for or wabine him. It is right, so bad question, but I feel say, yes, 1 year, young share. Because you are judging after your 8 years. Young shall in the meantime, no, and this was 4 years. Young can share a bria on the contact train. Nothing, you be sense you know, baby, because I know a lot of measures have been taken, but it is a matter of time. And this shall be judged. Obian goes through accountability. It's one of the promises we made, and we will fulfill it.
Okay.
So, my main shortly, you know. You see, and before we business, we can't want to influence just what they do. The fact that we do be a project called no, I don't just default. It's but as a lawyer, what do you know for the so everyone for?
No, did you hear me? The state, so how the court. No. Let me correct it. Wait there, Domi. So Debbie, Obama time. Let me correct it. I know how the court operates. Me court na me did that. I'm saying that the state has been able to prosecute its case, and that's a fact. Hold on. You can say a prima facie case has been made against you. I'm sure. Made against you. It tells you, say, maybe also, David,
your incoming, which is also not even the case, we contested so your incoming national chairman
is on trial, and I want it.
You're not good now, also Galamsey. But does it mean so Galamsey? Does it mean so Galamsey?
It's Makazo Galamsey.
No. So the fact
is not in court.
That what does it mean?
But that's what I said. There are
a lot of people in court. That doesn't mean they are guilty of what they have been accused of. See, that's the first point I want to clarify.
You're prosecuting because of Galamsey.
Is it the fact
or court?
Is he being prosecuted for Galamsey?
Being prosecuted doesn't mean anything.
Nobody is saying no.
Is he being not relevant to the discussion we are having?
You really?
The relevance of the discussion we are having, they say President Agya Kwabena say onimisa ne nkrofo ye Galamsey. That is worse than Obi Adnako so ye Galamsey. President Anka, President Agya to so onimisa ne nkrofo ye Galamsey. Ebesi ne yehu NDC ni ba kwa ye prosecute for Galamsey ana.
President Ankasa.
Okay.
Obia ye
na ne nkrofo so ka ho. Yes ano kan. Wankasa. And there are cases. Even MPs cry no for so me Galamsey. Mo MPs ni bi. But you who say this in the regional court.
Why the MPB Galamsey? Why? Oh, my example. If you do so near Obudin, that boy, that's all to be done.
May say,
see, I'm a member of parliament.
Oh, my
it's not fair. To me, the other day, Obian himself. So, him so be able MPB, so a Galamsey. Me, Jana had NDC MPP. Sabia, Naya, Wahame Penam MP. Me, share Emma, so NDC or MPP new. Yeah, in the house we are one.
Okay.
MP Ben, yes, you're Galamsey Bodinwa.
Okay.
And yes, I have Bukawasem not train on the side because.
Money proceeding.
Okay, me too.
So the point I'm saying is that we are in Ghana here, and the NDC forecast say, Omoba in the shortest possible time, Omoba stop Galamsey. These are verifiable facts. They stood on campaign platforms and the can't answer me. Maba Abem. It's been 17 months. It has become worse. And my president can say, I wear a crown at least in your home for so. Are there the media? Okay. So the fact that we know for so, then just says, what now? No man, I say. These are the things that make him want him. Because of by anyone who say the solutions are now canon. Emboa. Now, what was the solution now canon? Emboano. Ah, what can say the me and find a manual semono. In the normal sense, don't you apologize for the things you said about the government back then? We have verifiable facts. NDC for call Galamsey sites. Acquire press conference. So we have the videos there. We've seen the videos in 2020. NDC for was on Galamsey site promising. So we have microphone to Galamsey.
The 2020 someone.
These are promises. And what they say, we lost all the Galamsey communities.
Is it because of that some cocaine?
Of course, it's because yes, more money. We are preventing them from doing it. No, people say they buy memoir.
And then my until mom going on me.
Debbie. As one American say.
No one said Debbie, mammy wow. Debbie, can I say? So I'm record. I can't be memoir earlier, which was earlier or first submission or say. At the NDC for can say no, and as a government, near my for pay and I'm by mom. So, no, there be about kind. If you have correct, and when tea say it do that point, now President Kufuor said, Professor or your NDC for says, and Mojai said, send your penny dear and your mom. You said it, but I think that also fine tuning and uncle to say. Mama, quite say, and no money. I'm just helping.
Let me find you that. Like I say, my quite say, yeah. But my patch says some stringent measures that we've been taking. It got to a point you have to let it go because said the agency came, and then minia and so can say at the end of the day, a man for one things that they have to do to survive. So you have to find solutions for them before you can take that one away. So you have to replace it with something. So that is why MPP were saying, "Sir, Galamsey Assembly, any simple solutions are solve." That is why we are trying to let Ghanaians to understand. Say, you have tried the stringent measures. You have banned all Galamseys for about all mining, small scale mining for 1 year. You have tried in you say, I don't know, intimacy. So we need a long-term solution. But what did the American say? We need a long-term solution which will reduce the Galamsey in the form. And this was someone say a long-term solution as well. Because Galamsey they say I'm buying another president to solve. And we have a minister at this particular moment, Sam George. And I have a president to power. It's a minister. He's one of the leading members of the NDC.
It's more running mate by affiliation. Was it on Peace FM or it was on UTV? I can't say gold in the between the NDC for each. Now MN Lusu or Galamsey areas. You have that video. Let's not go there. Napo said it.
Okay,
these are the things that I'm not here to say something, but I'm emphasizing what he said. They say, politicize it, I don't know. Then as a politician, Obeka say, me lose bibia de na yen koso because no let's be honest with each other
be look as yen to china
no anyway we have to be honest with each other as a people ni en kan okra ni kire ye
okay
say Galamsey no yana number 2 abesi ne by your choir SFA so to Galamsey no and say 2 mining no and then what in here e be Galamsey so the fact say obi too gold no enchire say Galamsey it's an apocalypse board need here you be two I don't just say
I don't know the discussion get the full video but
the point I'm trying
don't worry it's when we get into political season maybe and somebody be he said or say we lose in 20 which has been turned out saying krempu in 2020 or say NPP was punished because of one more
but we were
it's not true
we were
it's not even true
we were
no we need honia
that really baby We won some of them, so we are winning.
Every year because to say the lawyer kind and I mean you so Galamsey ni they are politicizing. It be take advantage the power. It be the so the obi try wa wo de be fa ama e be to asumama electrics no omna to name ade a me pese ye kan ye te ase ne say Galamsey no it has gone into political financing. Ya ade e wo se ye hwe but ye nyina MPP ni MDC CPP ni nyina ye ho beto ya e wo say you take a step back na ye hunu say okay ye mine ya sase ni Yankopon ache yade e kwan be so ne be fa e be take good advantage of the resources that we have but in a responsible manner
nko say yeso ni yesas
devoid of we buy ye de no ye we can we also buy ye we ye say na de esa analysis na be enti e be du be me kwa akọ power me ka chere say we buy no kan we de ma me power no because me mama koye ti say de ye ka no you also be ba we ka say na akoya ma nsem ye nyina ye njintum say ye nuanom no ye yankasa aside ye nuanom enyo ma no aduane efiro individuals from the various mining communities no government ne so benefit perfectly from greatly from that sector hono and ye beka ayi ho asem say inflation here consider we can never take the gold the contribution of gold out of that discussion until ye benefited from there see ye benefited here then every government e ma munu nyina no e wo se ye hwe e kwan a ye be fa so ane ya ye ne yi ene mesa ka biem say solution no any amanyofo no ho solution ni ene mpanyufo no motenkan no ho solution ni nya police fo ho any sa tax force for na ye solution no to Galamsey e wo omo ye Galamsey now let's go to them let's have time and have proper stakeholder engagement with them and trust me say yes ana the solution no e be from haba na say draw line dia na kwa say ye dia
say aye pudimpu
debi almost
me dance ye be ko
addresses because MP accept no because my accusations are mini backing and we my clarify what I say is that some MPs have been accused of being involved in mining and this is the truth even speaker Krano and that was speaker one was on name say petition be aba so MBBA mining but mami body wa if some person be body wa
so na kan
MP for Asutifi North he was accused yes
why they accusing
he was accused
who accused him
of leading
come on who accused him of that
Asutifi North say oye dey accusing so oye dey
accusing no accusing the war and the build the Galamsey because someone attacking them was not show no these are accusations
as okay what say yes MPB etu Galamsey
Dabi makaso to Galamsey me say Dabi me say say do ko dina quarter and no chere say we for even NDC for MPs we also accuse
and
no chere say Dabi I'm saying
he was never charged for and I say accused of Galamsey involvement in Galamsey why who charge it
minia
original say
another one was a traditional council areas no the traditional leaders no was accusing the MP for our win also involvement in Galamsey the
traditional be why
the
traditional leader be oh I nya fact and answer
I have the fact here
why all right
the
traditional leader
facts are here this a new article that
nya fact and answer traditional leader be body and was MP be
Mama Pinidi
or MP be
the main can say the fact say obi accuse you obi I don't just want you guilty
okay
and they don't court so I don't just want you guilty these are the points that I'm making and say want to be in a court I don't just want you guilty
okay
my court didn't go here so different then you can come and sit here and
say on mine
let's not discuss this
we shouldn't discuss it
on mine no be patrol on mine no I uniform dey say I prosecute no.
And the court has upheld the prosecution.
It's only
Nobody has spoken about
defense. But not say,
man.
When Timmy and
you now only one Let's say we innocent.
Yes. So
the market easy. Answer the
but it's a fact is that we incoming national chairman, currently regional chairman is on trial for Galamsey. It's a fact.
It's not a fact.
Oh really?
Because it's not
the
unless he is convicted, he is not involved in Galamsey.
Kwame,
it does not mean he's guilty. Kwame is guilty.
We incoming national chairman.
I don't just say guilty.
Kwame, Moses na no. Aben Bank of Ghana. Moboka kano boy no. Bukan o senye no kre. Se say wam. E kana be to just say e wosoro pa. Afa no achi nso Ghana se say Ghana ye fa Africa economy na e ne to so nwotwe. Improvement e ba pa. And inflation so. Nti yen kam miensa no mbom. E dem pa na Bank of Ghana ho a ama abese yes my vindicated say a car Bank of Ghana abo Bank of Ghana oboka e wo mse na asam no kwaya e fu say wu enra ye fie he ye wo akojo ponkroma betena ha e mo no sesan kan ya say dia no moka no e ye no kore ye nche time no se na be ya bituma ko ye be topics ni nyina nti no me ma o exactly 8 minutes on this topic.
Yeah, but as I said the other time we were talking. Ebeboa ewo normal bi. The dikai. Yenhwe NDC ebra no mo opposition. No mo bi o mo kan.
Okay.
You see? There are certain things that NDC for ba aban mu no. Me hwe omo suban bi ni no mo ye bi no. Ade a me kan from the start they say NDC the atro any nada any timi ni eba aban mu nenso sa atro ni nada no omuntimi emfam bi wo man no because ombeto bedadi ohwe ensem a NDC for kan say Bank of Ghana boka in 2023 and 2024 ema ekodum pempenso bi kura say NDC for ka say chrono any yabo mine. Emma Oshe, the oral report normally by presenting my president now. One of the cases are new a car Bank of Ghana no mabo in 2022, 2023, and 2024. Now Kabuma, 80 billion Ghana cedis. A car oral report in Homoka says Sikano, or Marco Jaba, near the Bull mine. Which means Omoka say Bank of Ghana aboka a criminality. A criminal say Ghana aboka. Ye ka enoma bebre e try explain kire e no NDC for. But say they make an omo bibia ya man yourself. Nenso omo ba aban mu first year hwe e ka omabo. Na de e woma nwanwan say omo bo ka no wie no. No omo pe kwan bi so at the figures no the way akosha. Last year, Tama IMF the report by say gold board. And who sikasima motor and yaboka more than $200 million no. MP for kind and was in the press.
Na
Lawyer how we say no plan
no because bi nya ho kan ni ura kojo pon komedi komo ha. Ama mbisa ne sama hodo bi. Na okasa wie ye no am say na de show say na ansa so na IMF the report ba abontin. Ebe kan say sa e ka no mka so maboka no in reality no enye ka gold board abose gold board aboka.
Ya ka say gold board aboka. Yes say gold no motor no. a car bemu $200 and something million.
Send a can I
na saka no almost shifting ko Bank of Ghana and the car Bank of Ghana kay omububu over 9 billion Ghana cedis. This is a car go there to no ebem ye kan no mo se nye no kre ewi akire mo becheche so we ampa e kan buy e ba nye gold mo kan buy e Bank of Ghana, but the fact remains say e ka ebem with the tune of almost over $200 million dollars. They also yet the Bank of Ghana is an independent body. Bank of Ghana is for any political party. A bank so yeah, so mutumi independently. In the Bank of Ghana, the report about it shouldn't be politicized. When you someone say your friends say majority in parliament and they say the Bible thing. Bank of Ghana or PRO, Bank of Ghana or mu enhyehyɛ a de no ma ba bontin a de ba. Then so we are politicizing no. Ya na manyo sem. Say if in Bank of Ghana report ko de ba no. Na say edom kese no na nuko gina no mu ka ho asem. Na wo hwɛ omo de sa report yi ba ya. Na say MPs na say aban adwumayefo na say aban emu mpanimfo no bi adwetwe no. Wo hwɛ omo amokoye sa press conference here. That would if the majority leader cry and come now we can home. Now when you know say a kana mo boy no person this year because of insane be omaka previously. Now you can say omaboka over 34 billion almost say boy. You can know 15.6 and yet 34. Now NDC for the MP before the BBA na mo per say or minus say let's baby and your minus say na ni epe. Name no credit ho a mo yen kan chete na before no mo tie ho aso say o man na yebu no our monetary policy na ka say e na abem ampa omo esa ba be kan say the MPP for Kano e no credit e Kano enye 15.6 na ka kan nyina aboma e 34 over billion Ghana cedis. Na o hwe report na sebe I say nyi say no where they are into me fancy ebepie into mo track kan bi so so on the BCC and so no and to me anye. Now you compare 2025 and 2022 2023 2024 ebana. Yes, 2024 na you say the buy no take decisions are no more edin. We have to take the death restructuring decisions. And no Emma Bank of Ghana can go do 60 billion Ghana cedis. But Osha and Shaya sa abai no do two kwem. Emma every year bia no subsequent labor no e reduce year. Osha inflation at 2022 na wasro. Na Osha e normal abai no do two kwem a every year bia na e ba form. Emma even the development partners no e sa Shaya mo dia two is e mo to aso e kwa. By the end of 2025, no, now when you single digit inflation, it's hard the single digit inflation will me and because MPP are buying a to NDC is better to us and they could do something. But NDC buy not because the figures on paper no they hear more ntino. Ade na say yo makakra no omo ye more and ama ekano.
Then I can some yen kakra no mo more my kana.
In terms of intervention in the market, no. So in November 2024, the then governor Ebeka said, "Sebe persesi di niko form ena meeting yaye, but eko form ya or chance be. Who push all your reserve into the CDSA? That time now say your reserve was about 8 billion USD. So that time near accumulated gold around almost 30 tons of gold. If you push oil reserve to intervene in your monetary matters, yes, we will make instant results. But in the long term, no, a be hard thing. A business are good year, ton last year. Oshe, say, Omendia no, accumulate the gold reserves. Omendia, especially the BRIC countries, China, Brazil, Russia, India. They are all increasing their gold reserves to be less dependent on the dollar and other, commodities and volatility in the market. And no, and Ghana so no, Dr. Mahumbo Yadaroma, they can say in 2022 near 8 tons per. Say I increase your reserves now. A do baby na sa hochre ba to say the COVID ba ye. Nya baby FA na nsi. Enti ye keka bom e ma ye free power near or more than 30 tons of gold. Na no nche say asset ni go ni no na ye say woton. But o share the figures ni nyina na o share e car omo boy any bibia enka o man ton gold na enka ye boka even more over 9 billion Ghana cedis. Kanba could be 44 billion Ghana cedis. But muton gold na home for so munya was over 9 billion Ghana cedis. And ema ebeka ho ema eka no eba from kakra. Na Miriam na Bank of Ghana and I say aban be intervening in the market. Ni nyina na set team for ho beto. At the end of the day no, the here no. Dollar rate, inflation, whatever it is no. The here is set team for ho beto. Ene minute here. See busa business community. Say meka say dollar every $1 to 50 cedis. But ebejina ho sa for 10 years. And I say instable obi abi choose 50 cedis no. Unim dey enter. Because for 10 years as a businessman no bet me plan it. 10 years obi anim say e na sika ni gina. So the issue, yes, the dollar cost a hard. But the issue is not per se say cost and I say platform. The issue is the instability. The issue is that we find a plan.
I share to say no bribia besenko any afibe ya fintemwini no. We share dollar no na ho dey see na ho dey the stability how can once no. The past 1 year net you saying a stable and now say said it say encarnate to we course na ba for course na course gidigidi no. We share it you saying.
Oh, I mean for we share from January 2024, 2025. We see, say, dollar now has been fairly stable because of the intervention at Bank of Ghana. And no, I won't use so near car. Abi.
Na say, stable na say betumi aboama. Amount for business, amount for any business people so one here.
But we know the making. The making say intervention now be at the end of the day, it is not the figures on the paper. That is what matters. That is not the end
sustainability.
Goal. It's not even sustainability. That is also very, very important. So it must sustain, But at the end of the day, every team for one high or more.
Okay.
Now, economy na
okay.
And now that's the main aim.
All right.
And now make us say the dollar rate per se is not the goal. It's a means to achieve an aim.
Okay.
But what did I mention? I say it is a dollar no for my year. But say a stable. Now say it me translate to me for no high or more. And then here. Okay. Now the issue I have when I say okay. The issue I have when I say Bank of Ghana, J Sika from banks no, ama banks no are not lending because you say all the banks no instead so mobile lending to the private sector no, they are giving the majority of their money to Bank of Ghana and they are earning on it. You say banks are not doing anything and they are earning money, they are making profit. Now, then they are reluctant to lend the money to the private sector. And unti say inflation will form and so when we are ending. Inflation about form to secure the system. These are some of the reasons why that's happening. Now, you're pushing inflation about 3.2, 3.5, thereabout. But share the essential things I hear no crime cost more than 3.2%. I can point to electricity, I can point to transfer fares, I can point to water, I can point to even taxes Okay. So all these things say the gains are no paper so no. Okay. It is not translating into the pockets of the people.
That's it. Honorable, the awakani na say the aboy na kenken kwa to America man so fifre team no nyina for so bi amaso.
Me da some so kasa over 20 minutes.
Oh, there be.
There be na 5-2.
That's what I mean.
Okay, kasa be 12 to 30 minutes.
Oh, because I 5.
That be, I don't know every free. Now don't tell me.
You're a fan, sir. Look, first and foremost, Sam Komoi, one of the few, I know one of the many IMP before. It's an agenda because BBI said anyone, they want to create something. And I've seen their communication. They be a say, Moye say, TNCBC, Moye say, this will not help them. But the Yamna me too for. No two things are ever the same. We would always analyze a PR word baby agent. And then you see, first and foremost, so we a principle that Sanko we famba. Because if say we our company, as also NDC forecast in the Bank of Ghana Aboka previously, what was your defense? And then answer. So where's your principle? Is there anything new here? Say ye kasa ni amokana Bank of Ghana mbokada in the year 2022. Moi report am the Bafi Bank of Ghana no. Now over 60 billion. 66 billion Ghana cedis. 60.6 60.6 billion. That was the time now Bank of Ghana omo core mandate as a bank and it's on behavioral stability about system control inflation there. So NDC a question Bank of Ghana and it was right at the time because necessary this Ghana year results now inflation now 54%. TNA because Wajuma you cut out and it's all about stability about system. Now we catch us over 60 billion. Now 60 billion no. Ya hwe adwuma a ode ye na inflation sa abren ekuyen ba bi ade akwa dunia ensa se yeka. I don't subscribe to this thing about say independent body intima yenka any day. It's good you are scrutinizing.
Man can say independent body menka. Me say or independent body. It's NDC for na say o me report about. That's what I said.
So can I
say menka.
So independent body bia ye adwuma e wo krom ha within ye krom e say scrutinize. I'm for it. Because we try and say waboka look na see ntimi nye din na o fesika nya ne abena we make jazz waboka me ade here is a question. So it was important then, it's important now. I don't have a problem with scrutiny but for you to now say that because of Moboka before Ntima NDC kind thing and says on Boka no, it's neither the castle or and then I
discussing what I said.
Right, have I mentioned your name? And I press conference. Me ground the outcry so way they want come. May dealing with those who allow me, please.
That don't misquote what I've been saying.
I'm not referring to you.
You in person. Maybe I'm even dealing with Kojo no manya. Please allow me. No, I said to respond to.
No. How the end
Kwame.
And I've made certain statements.
Onka anya wo aswa
strategy. Allow me.
So if you are saying something and you are misquoting, I have to come in and but you have to be
Kwame. Omo within the patrol.
But you shouldn't represent the facts.
Debbie. Or not.
My Bank of Ghana. Nobody has said that.
Okasano. What the manusu we here? Let's not misquote or misquote two we.
But he also misquoting
Debbie or misquote two be.
Okay, yeah.
So nobody can say semi scrutinize it. At the time, Mobreso. Bank of Ghana Balkan, near question near Bank of Ghana this year. And yet, here. First and foremost, Bank of Ghana, and yet, your friend is saying a commercial bank. No. They don't operate profit and loss. In fact, Bank of Ghana is a policy bank. Let me put it for lack of a better word. Our more mandate. Mandate, and so you discard. It is a okaswa boka pay cry na. Me never be heard you makwa or the iron. Say war minor. I don't have a problem. Because sabi, and one thing I want to see you can't be look at the language. Yankasa debt, yaka loss. There is a reason. Yankasa Bank of Ghana debt by yaka loss. Because sabi, you'll be a major Bank of Ghana because of Escabra. What do you get that.
Oral so mo go discuss no. It's in the oral report.
No, chief. This
No.
Kwame.
What is this?
No, Osi obi aso.
Stop this.
But you are not being fair.
Obi anya fair. Wo de man kan say
But
and so you see, and never be ayaba abeduni. Bank of KPMG report of Bank of Ghana. Me expertise na court na wo.
Yeah.
Enya finance, but what the two ha me kan nyame adomitimi ase kakra. Omo ne nim standards omo de ye Bank of Ghana report. Na omo de abetudwa. Say Bank of Ghana boka 15.6 billion.
Yeah.
Then minorities say no entesa. Now there are two issues for me. So omo ka say yen scrutinizing omo di sika na ye ya. Me no am for it. But they are now saying say standard na KPMG you sue ye at the car bank na bono and yes our standard no na eso bi use o ma sesano and that sa your friend is saying comprehensive income a car be no so wo no ese kom de ka other comprehensive income and no na the sense mu ni aba. Now the Bank of Ghana is explaining say look that comprehensive income no enye ka properly so called because and let's do a certain analysis net here for ntiase and Bank of Ghana omo sika and omo reso omo sika wo ho e be a forex e be a forex e be a gold $10 eti say o share loss so how be income no wa pay your friend is saying e ka wo ho na o de akabom no what deduct say profit or say loss. It is a fan say what you boy me and you see the issue. So for instance, the Bank of Ghana $1 million as part of sika na da ho no. So wo hwe mo ene sika what the better time say an interest rate of it's $1. What the better time say an interest rate of barely 11. Before during their time now then 16 and more no. Now the times here it is a fan say 1 million the times 11 now. Obenya saying 11 million. Until now, you find the Bank of Ghana sika
1.1 million.
1.1 million. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yes. 1.1 million. No, I think 11.
Are you saying billion or million?
A billion.
Billion.
11 billion. Yes, into 11 billion. 1 million. No.
Dollars.
Because a can in dollars. And that is even significant. See, a cofano in dollars are a very different kakra. But in Ghana cities near King, it is a normal $1 million my account in one. Yes, it's $1 million in dollars. But what I say, a baby be 11 billion. And the interest rate, my friend saying, exchange rate, net no. Before no, I'm to say 16. It is 16, so now the behavior. Na sabre na be kwa 16 billion. Internet say nei so fan Ghana cedis sabre no na Bank of Ghana will sika more than a nei. Because
the so cedi na ho
den no ene ayeden. Enti wo dollar eso abeti. So wo dollar we cedi ne so abeti as compared to previously. And that is what Bank of Ghana is explaining say enti enye e kankasa. No mo forex ni ade omo wo no osese senya ye kai kana osese a e ba be wie say because cedi ne abenya ahoden ni nti no si ema omsika no so ate but so ti agro na say
nkane na ye 16.
Thank you.
Okay, 16
na ko sika bebre
16 billion.
But asenia no
no cedi no nya ahoden about 11
am omsika no so abete asemona asenia no nti it will be disingenuous so we be sika no now one share sika na ye kan ho asemi any sa rate ya ye kan. So that is the explanation of Bank of Ghana. I don't have a problem if you have a superior and answer further information contradicting your Bank of Ghana ye kan. But we must still do the analysis. And that's what they are saying. Say it is other income, other comprehensive income no. And yet can kasa enti na KPMG for make kan ankasa no. In fact, so offer the same exchange rate, say at the time 2024 now munya sa 9 billion no. Ekano so okofa sa rate na the argument of Bank of Ghana na say obe wan hwa obe wia ase no obe ba benya sika kro na ebe bro so kakra. But for me what is significant? So much them say, and I say, oh, be contrary, I can bring it up. But for me, what is significant? Bank of Ghana has a mandate, and the mandate is that a so much stability, inflation, a coffee. Your friend saying, "Ye sikam, enya hodin, o madwuma no no." Ene enema bia e so moye, e ko mo anso na issue notes ni ade de ba. E sika ne ade. It is asoman. Say next rate na ba form. Na mo so sika so ate, forest o mo no e so ate. In terms of the Ghana cedi mo. Na se me ho beto me. Kakra se be me pesika e de akwa kra niema anase me kwa kotua duty me kwa me hia sika sa dollar anase bibi dia na se ebema anwo me ho be ba because you see businessman bia no ho e for the Christmas so kokota ade no na se ni duty ni ade ni a ode ka ho no de ba ode aba beton. It is a necessary relatively, and I always say President John Dramani Mahama and his government has never said anywhere say Yamagana done heaven. But if you compare to 2024 before 2025 we came to power, nobody can say it is not better. But there is more room for improvement. That I agree. It in Yaya can say Bank of Ghana and na kra na me say inflation na kosoro kakra which is around 3.5. Em say last few days no matimi and na akọ kakra. Aba bedu baby it is the same calculation am breso ne ye na. This argument say different from union ade and make fine. Me yes argument no. But inflation which Yemia Kojo upon Kroma in 2024 and no trumpet and I can show you the record say MPP has been able to stabilize the microeconomic indicators. There is nothing wrong if a net might be so Casa na Bank of Ghana almost no no macroeconomic indicators no on better stability they've been able to achieve it. But almost say in doing so because they did that to mop up some liquid. These are technical mop up liquidity and because now there were too much now as a sika was system no baby do baby mop up to reduce inflation. It is these are all the things there is a way of doing it. It is Bank of Ghana and this kind of adwuma. It is almost be try and say e ka say ni abo me I will measure it with nyom there and that's me. And you see for me and way it is not even true say yeah Ghana this issue yakoto gold na ya say and Ghana your reserve
time ago
your reserve has been pushed to 14.5 billion international reserve dollars in 2024 $8.98 million. It is all issue no matter tongo no check your international reserve it is now $14.5 billion. They left it at 8.98 billion. You can check this. So your reserve no it is not for nothing and World Bank for ATM.
Are you talking about the US dollars reserve or the gold reserves?
No,
there are different.
You see, allow me. If you allow me,
yes, Makoton gold, but you are also mentioning the US dollar reserves. And I'm saying, are you talking about?
It's opposite your argument in Mamia. So allow me.
We are
because the essence of Sanyama Weniano a certain backing, financial backing for you as a country. But ultimately, sebi. Bank of Ghana. Etimiama apeja a reserve akwa could say, and it is in dollars. This gold thing we are talking about, this gold whole matter here come once, and the gold, you know, IMF every do baby I agree. Is a World Bank. How much I say gold first and foremost, gold no na aboy and kesepa. Now it is not just the surge in price, but the quantity in so are exporting because of the coordination. Yet to me, look. Any day, let's celebrate it when it is due. Look, this gold board is a game changer. Yeah. So maybe now say, and yeah, you can criticize. I don't have a problem. But the policy, say gold board, is really a game changer. And none of the above do baby I agree. And for me, say analysis be about your finances. Me I have baby a gina so mine. Your stability, the stability in your city, cannot be overemphasized. Because and then now okay, at least anybody you buy now it is a 9-day wonder. So but even in the midst of this whole issues amano shake your friends saying Iran ne we ni ade ni ahwe your currency no still. But in all this, your currency na jina ne na so ma ense unlike before. COVID by Russia-Ukraine war by you see kind of 17 years could do it. But then there is some stability. It tells you say somebody is doing something right.
Okay.
But in all this, only say ni mono. Yankopo obesia one CDO amanone. Are you not surprised? In all this, yankopo obesia $1 ewa amanone. Is somebody not doing something right? Look, you can criticize when necessary.
Okay.
But
all right. Na nina me dey be doctor dey oti akiri e na wo hwe de e ko no
me hwe agro no
politicians ne be ka omo de nyina awie
omoka
ya moka sa de eka ho nsem nko a no be can say be di ejapade wo fie na se de hwe abusua e se wie ejapade ni bi na ye de ye ne amasa na be abusuafo no be henhan wo mo a so so wakoko yi ade wei e de abusua ejapade wei wakofa kwa koton e de aboa wo ton ye no e de na de ye wo tiechire no sa wa boka me moka no mama semedu
okay me da semedu wasisi me na na ka me pese me shall see free your ranking no na mo wa shall
ranking no okay no problem
okay ranking say so much free ranking yes you to so much no cre into sha you know I shifted your GPD, you know, a movie from 108 billion to 113 billion. Until that's over 4 point something increase. Now,
I think it's 18.
118. Check it's 113.
Really?
Billion.
Oh, dear.
Now, Osha, a papa, say Osha on the face value, you know, a bebuama investors about your crew, it creates a good picture of Ghana out there. But me no baby am feeling clear de bia me pese me chichi mu maye maame a me maame ote wasa dom na se
ote ase
na me papa wo adwuma ko ba no so te ase se ye ka ni nyina ekosi sen se Ghana nwuma ayeye ene ne ma ayeye no ye kabo mu ane bo no nyina eno no aya pese hu na ho de na ibim de aye per capita income you check it per capita income we are around $3,179 or so a little about that a year name no share inflation no so my project now it is 9.9 and also was rokakra na de na minia na eka no a year mum name no e was set to a growing economy should be a feeling economy se oka se economy ni gua e was me hu se economy no me te wo me boto se
me kikiu
aha enti no ye ade wo paper no so de na mum no ye munu ye nua na kasa me nua lawyer kasa no oka say most of it and I can report no say one of the key contributors na e gold and it is true ye gold no into Hong Kong America, even though others count to say telecommunication, cocoa, ne services, financial services are rendering in account and the Maya call your nimsano. But Meko gold no. Gold no abua. Name of the entire team for ordinary people name feeling say most historically no the gold and casa business, the gold sector is controlled by foreigners. Until we share Jumedi as we say now we make advocacy we say you raise you cocoa you go need and get the magana for what you only support it be most no be adwin na sa argument no be make because say omo aye sa exportation and mostly na foreign companies even though you improve on ni na dodo na kwa abonten enti scan be brain tana ha na matemamfo no enya so fa so. And even though we are doing well because Ebuami is gathered, Ebuami is kasem kosro and fasono e maye feeling it said there e was ye feeling no. Enti e was said government should put in proper measures ebema yen yankasa ye gold no ye de policies be said now can be ya ebema yenya total control and I say major control said e be ya sika ne bebre betimi atena ha na yenso ye de aboye bra na ama niema boakofom na aye nneɛma sa adeɛ baako so say government hwɛ agriculture sector no say agriculture sector no contribute so much to your GDP because it engages about 30% of the people in China aye ma ye feeli ayi more because and when it comes directly but mponchi nyina no ye friend say ye import tomatoes import niam be bree nti e wo say abide na ni call say eno koka ho na koka ye gold no ho a e be ma feeling economy no after the Yembra Bank of Ghana says so e dey na Bank of Ghana was ye e dey nti na Bank of Ghana mo dwumedi ni sen Bank of Ghana mo dwumedi no hwe ye be ye nwotwe for the purpose of this discussion make am be me sape. One of them is to supervise the banks, commercial banks.
Commercial banks are hold on also.
One is to also manage inflation and foreign exchanges.
Okay.
Another one also say obi make sure say yen foreign rate no manage. Ni nyina no e scan ye dey. Enti se ka say bank na say Bank of Ghana aboka. Aya yen hwe no from a holistic point of view. Oboka no e dey na wodi sika no eye. Ene udie yenuanum ya omudi ombe the communication friend frame no we be ka say oh ye de no majority ka say we are boka to stabilize the economy we must say you have concealing some of the economy bond we must say 44 million we must say na be 15.6 ye be ka na sa na emom no me am yeti mamuni no ye boka okay ye boka mi filiana ye be ya adwen ye nyina be ya adwen say sene na niema botie afibia na etwem no entesa sisi o share inflation even on paper as of last year by this time they were around 21 point something percent to see it were around 3.4% intinka e hono de enka eye nemom ne eka no de Ghana fu bi sane say eka no eye genuine neka ana say eka bia ekodi nkofo bi wotom because eka me ye say masoma se kodwom na akoto bayire fabre na wakoto bayire ni 8 cedis na wodi aba na 8 cedis no mato ama obi 6 cedis na di pakro na akoto no 12 cedis
yes me well so mam the first person waboka
maboka na so obi enya so faso sa na yeka say e was a gold board ne Bank of Ghana arrangement no e very transparent because I say transparency no akakakra inti amaye nhunu e ka no pote no the way etie say e katrodo ana say ebi mu benefit from a can because the agencies now a worth the supply chain between gold board and the Bank of Ghana and emuwa e pesi ehunu the price margins no oil de ni gold de ne say the beya enkoye say oh ye to ye nya so fa so nenso okay ye nya so fa so ntina e ka we wo nenso na asa e ka no enye ka ye ka na emume kofu bi wo baby na omo benefit from that e ka no eno na ye ntimamfo no ye hu e ye sa na emfa so na wo si ye nya no ye nya na sa na akoye nkofo kuma bi ena enya sa emfa so no eno ne question a me bisa say e ka no ye nhwe ni yi because ye hwemu yi a enchechemu no de akakakra na emom nka ye compare ne de a inflation ne de a enka ye beka say enne ne ma bo akofom nti nkeye na emom no ye nhwe ho no ye de ba into the marginal increase of the inflation and the inflation every year 3.4 as at last month na entesa osha eduane body osha statistics na eduane body e ba form na emum de ne bo course ro e school fees and utilities and fuel and na ama na mani na akosoro be no na ne e kan so ma me ewu na se wusu onwu ya ukofia ubehunu the truth they say they bia yen kofo ya amanyosem but can you you can say inflation ne cost no na ye dey share Russia Ukraine war no yes you know Russia Ukraine war no but the truth they say current inflation na air cost you can never discuss it without discussing the Iran and America the ekoso no but de bia na ya na ye yakoye ne say oh we mu de ne de ye de ne ye say in political communication called cast taking na me as ye to cast no me de ne ye de ne but the truth is they say inflation na ye hu sisia no it is attributed to what is happening at the global level but me jitu say enye worse but I was see me any call because I started pager no so nko ade te say dem nua lawyer nka me ne be adwen say no niema ebia niema no ye nya hunu na nisu ye but it's early days yet we are just hoping say santokwa ne ento aso anko nanim ebia to aso ko nanim a na ye hunu ni yi te say ye hunu ni sisi ya no baby ya adwen say say ko ne say even though aduane bo so ten fu obo ekosoro fu obo so kosoro a e affect niema nyina na say kra government intervention by awati diesel so eno kra na aka wo ama eniema ekoye na say obi frame me say ofri takra de eba akra lawyer fair okono ye je no your friend is saying 80 cedis all back ye je na 100 cedis and I was like no and then for complaining about sachet water to pure water no ebi mo say yakoye 1 cedi enti say inflation is so bad ya I would say me de me kasa ma me maame no me kasa ma me papa no na normal obiko gom na wakoto eniema no e wo say ye hunu na ye feel but ye de no kre ye adwuma dia economy ni improve it said ye wo no kre inflation no as compared to last year this year e wo form obetimi attribute no to ekano say okay si aboka kra na e de aye yetimi dia manage shocks no to say the Bank of Ghana ediayen wa manage shock no wa ma a friend is saying dollar no say ye sidi na ho de abasoro nti ye na emum no se sidi na ho de ne basoro na say ye shocks ni na ye okay a e wo say meeting ka wo memi botom na say me kutua school fees na say school fees no kosoro na me kutua utility na utility no kosoro na say me kotofu na fuo no kosoro na say be ka chem say GDP kosoro na dia me ma me odom na say wasa dom na say on tiase
me da se wode tia wa pa wa body tawa ma say 10 minutes ne pepe 1 minute bi pene be kan ye sema be do 10 minutes bi na say na ye dia sorry nti ye hwe na honorable big push
but me respond to some of them because be nyabo
ya bre no
na so respond to ayen
be say na fe be wiase no
because be nyabo
ebe wiase no na ye time na ye last topic
no me start you know nti my doc so start
big push in some no that's say mo wa ba mu tia na ka me dey ba oso
oh a big push
contractor ye dey adwuma ma na ya ma no sika omo fa ni sample mobilization wako di sika no enso wan kosai me tie na me pese me je di say no kore minister de ka say bi say o no ebere bi wanya on be terminate contract no na ye share wo court does that mean say we are Ghana ni e de adwuma say say de koma broni aga say na Ghana contractor for na mu ye fa ma mo we are Ghana ni okay gina ye uso ya dia margins kan so site nkra wonya nko e ya bro e sabotage
onim you see unfortunate but e to de bia I hate to say Ghana for ya ntino ya ne ye kan ne ahweneka but ye di e ho abroad do asomai na onim ne e de sa de ba wa ka do kwase bocho contractor for bebre sorry some mechanism o ma jiji nyuma ni bebre ai bi home musica and previous administration breso and o ma jiji obi wo contract o ya but you see this I know why I'm saying this because I'm a witness to one of them any minister Komobi. This minister you know him even from opposition days and no nonsense man in fact I say honorable Akwata also was like that so kaya obe who say mo jiji nyuma no way specific enyuma bi o hono mo a mama hu how agent aye especially the big push because in our manifesto you trust rapid just your pentem ye the strategic roads and on just other roads ye guso me mikro ma kwan ye nanso any big push It is way no dey special project. It wa catch them say enya ade a ye beso so obi delay so. But what ye adwuma no so e raise certificate e betu aka. As we speak, minister aka, no contractor has contradicted it. Say ye ndi obi aka. Yama okwan se kona koye adwuma abeje mobilization because wo nwuma no wo baabi nti no.
They are kosho.
Na de akɔhyɛ hɔ na ye na aban adwuma na ye de ahyɛ wo sa ne ya sɛ ye no na no ne hia ye no na no wagya ato.
Anti what this kind of
that's what they do.
And no they akɔyɛ adwuma foforo baby.
So enti unfortunate but me de contract bia ya sign me hu contract documents ni bi termination clause wo. Enti me the minister yes any awaka na no ano no obi biara me de me na me metena me kasa sabotage enye bibia na manyofo ye beje ama ye ho. Enye bibia na ye beje ama ye ho contractor no odin or part bi kura enye ne hia me.
Onidi.
Se wanya adwuma na minister emma 2 minutes meka ho. Se one a day a number of days. Se we movie anko ye adwuma na terminate contract no na be bi oto fa anko. Because ya so niema we so eya ha. Sabi adwuma contractors yes contract over 100,000 and I register with the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Then yam ye wadum na se who get selected. Se koda akoye adwuma ya ma mobilization. Se ko na akoye adwuma. I think the mobilization was around 60 million or something. What is this can now we are about betranse na it had to and again I'm surprised. Did they have to take the minister to move from Accra to see say adwuma no nipa no nkoye? Region no empenifu e wo ho no mo hwe highways so any ade akoko VMC so no what happened did no mo nim because surely contractor be adwuma ye den be kire locals no ho iti e den I had to take the minister so mfi Accra ansa no aba be hu se wanya adwuma and so for me let us call them out ne wanya adwuma ye money din ye ntwa contract nim na ne why serious no meme ye nibre ye infrastructure gap between ye any ye way no e wo form papa in fact e was gap no was we need to bridge it. It is a nyame ya adom na se wo wa benya adwuma in fact wa fafo bi kra ye adwuma no kra ye ndi omka na de oji sika no na ye so okoye adwuma na onkonkoye very immediate no there your minister baso but me the mestre next time you shouldn't take the minister to come from Accra to answer na wa ba be hu sa dem your highways regional officers or your regional minister or your DCs ni MCs or area ho they should be proactive na ma bibinia minister are busy krana because let me say you hu ntam kranka sa bring minister to ana mo ndada
doctor ayi utie nhwehwemu ayi ba krasa amafo ohoro kra na bra minister ba no omo se minister o ma ha o ba wo ba nti na wa bebegina ha na o ma ha nti na say amafo no e na ka won sa meanwhile ye wo regional highways director say highways so
it's a full office
yes urban areas ni urban you district ni your MC your sanko you wom nyina wo ho enti ni so mo nyina atena se na se age se minister ne bedu na obi oye amanfo na ka se papa contractor no ma ha wo ba enti no ba what does it mean
hwe eya ye wo se ye ka no krekere ye ho ye ankasa te se de ye ka no e wo se ye ka no krekere ye ho e wo akonia sabebre so mi free winiba mi kira de wo winiba e kwan o mu ye kura na even though is e ho aho kire de abre ne say won samba site obu ano de sabe so mu asan jawo aho kire ni mfuturo a enkofo famu no enya asem ketwa
na bra kwa bi ka bi hu na na jofi kwan so na be so na to ye no na me hu say ka
enya kura
because
say say me ko bi na park me car na nam de ahye baby because and say entino e was say minister ne de o ye ne de honestly speaking ye fa bibia nto nchen ne mo na baso na emom no media de meka ne se enkoye ehonko a ne enkoye baabia enye nne na saa de no culture na ekoso oba wini ba de me road be from Jazz Junction to friends say Atetu o ma ye dreams ni nyina bibia contractor and send them over site or say no no the obey no enti say ka big push o share na report na ye de buy say ye rank 8 in Africa na one of the key indicators the increase in infrastructure especially road infrastructure enti ni na account na ma economy ni ekosoro because say growth ni ye okay and ye ma free in class ho e backroom ye ton yam faso na ma economy no so expand na say abai abono homoden say ekoye kwan we meye na say wo ye timamu ni Ghana ni na say ya ma wo sa contract ni say ye na say wo ye yi a I also say ni kwan say minister but ade bi nso a ye nhwe no so ne I'm not saying it is happening in the big push the subletting of contracts obi akwaje contract no
no achichem
no aside the chem no aside aton contract no sadie no eso ka ho bi and because se me makwaje contract dey say na se me to me de so me de be ka na mato ama enti mpe bebre no na it doesn't only inflate the cost no but it also delays project no enti eno de my friend is a minister but minister also should not only question the contractors. Development near Modiana. It shouldn't take the ordinary people to comment about it. MC, we will see a contract, regional ministers, and what were they doing? Did they raise red flags? And I said, DNA, because you was say,
depending on budget contract, no. You so why you do Emano, on your yedi wo so mo no nyɛ papa iti sɛ onipa na bɛgye wo wie na so san ba bi de for dey tire sansa
no na ɛho se yɛhwɛ ho na ye onim yenjai ya ban na wo ho contractors ne yen nkɔfoɔ nti ɛwɔ se yɛhwɛ ɔmo nti ɔmo asɛm ba kra na yentimi nkan bebe we nka sasa na tie minister ko kan kra
we there obetoma say this is a contractor that has been around for a long while.
He's a very experienced contractor. I know
very long time.
So fine that but I was say yɛhwɛ na yehunu say saa ne mani nyina no it is about us ye de bibia to nche ya ekwan MPP ni nam so NDC ni nam so minister nam so nam so na wa wo timamuni no so yeso ye nam so enti aya amunhunu ye mobo kakra
de ye bre
e bia contractor ne wo ka so enti wo nam so awu fili
kwame
be fili
kwame ye sanka ye fa ma Ghana contractor ne de koma wa hu edu ba bia eya na ba bi so say ya na ye ho enti ye fo ne say ye de koma o man fufuro bi su ni ahoho bi so nya Ghana contractor for ye mo ya we don't support our own nnasefo de ekwe no ugidi say de na ese na ochena bi no saa asem ye nkonkoti we say ni ukura
that's a contractor no minimum one of the biggest contractor just say minimum personally but minimum say maybe ana me wonti no PP into the minimum okay you know contractor MPP address no nya some big contract I mean pokwasi to in Sawam you know
over 60 contracts.
Motorway. And also, I mean, initially, Ghana ni crowd. But the boss saying yes, Ghana ni one. Or penny to net house. Good. Or Ghana ni. But this issue, no. Media men no minister support. I'm the change. You know, in procurement, you know. The whole reason why we have the public procurement and procurement procedures and everything is to get value for money. Now, getting value for money does not start when you give out contract. Getting value for money starts at the preparation stage of the project, right? Now, prepare stage now, put the BOQs together now, okay, how you can save money and all that. We are in the procurement process itself, you know, we have something where we call the requirement. You are asking the contractors to provide. You look at that. Now, evaluation. You look at contractor. Now, who are they out with the idea? That you look at value for money. Now, the entire member minister Soboni said the process leading to the contractual giving out the contract to this particular roads was single source. It wasn't competitive. Now, you can't single source once in Biblia can sole source, but the actual way the single source. My church I say in Biblia, but anytime, you know. The fact say, and this is Kasagin CNA now, the friend on you use single source because open term, as a woman be in Tibet. But when the entire na a bimukassetia single source, and they say, So when you see the year, you have the tendency say, it makes me your how abba. Not even the idea say open in terminal crown, every delay. It be the okay. And he said, oh, give you our contractor. You look at the capability and the capacity of the contractor. The contractor cannot say me, but is one of the biggest contractors we have in Ghana.
Our capacity.
Our capacity to a certain level. The capacity is endless.
Okay.
There is no contractor in the world anywhere, and the capacity is endless. So in giving out the contract, the single source because they say contempt. That's how that is. But in giving out the contract, you look at the capacity of the contractor.
This is a way to capacity.
Say, let me tell you. Say, Dipano, Oman road miensa. Does the person or the company has the capacity to be present on the train at the same time?
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about capacity.
Yeah, Matthias.
What did I say? This particular contractor, no, time was share. Pokwase
Oh yeah.
Obeko from 3 to 3. Na machines are soma. Na efekeke. The speed are not there. But here is the case that he has been stretched. Be pushing him for our contract base 6.
Na so to me nya date no dey niti kokwaje so
businessman. What the businessman? What the man imagine my pekwan am fa so bia me dey bia na maye.
Say a contract ni mu ye say ade na ye penentem. Inti be bosomi miensa. Oh metumi aye. Na dishonesty be ya be. Let's say dishonesty be ya be mu ho.
I can say the capacity ni say just for the illustration let me just use some numbers. Let's assume say Ekwanya obey first road no. Say you obi a or tipper trucks 10. You obi a or caterpillars 10. E bia 10. Okay. Nipa ni yamane baako. Oba en wa show say the caterpillars ni bi no obey 20. It what is I say at the back on the man. The same second one is no here 10. Or 20. Yeah.
What the
time or presented 20 no. It was him. And the first one, the second one a man. Third one the was presented 20 nibium. Oh indeed. Or 20 no.
But first and second
will be concurrently at the same time.
The third one
the kind of one. Additional. So yeah 1, 2, 3 now. Either say obeti check machines no egu roads no so and also obey we are so, and that is what we are seeing because the contractor can say media he has the capacity to
do so more problem say so no so nim say sa de no ayi the machines no was per your illustrations you know say eno na obetuma gina so de na so wonim say the do and what me the way until say the way come me be dey am say me na say wo so your businessman you know o kwakwa there then you are being dishonest.
But that is the on the businessman side.
Okay.
But government also has a responsibility, especially in the case where you are doing single source.
Okay.
Because one our Fed department or the number to do proper due diligence
and sana
and who the entire strength of the company and sana who this contract will be amano.
Okay.
And that is the reason why I'm saying, say, remember, Minister.
Okay.
So one, if I say no, him so muntimi, and or the man possible. And I say, well, I should shame, and who am I who are they, and or time, or the man.
Okay.
And also, yes, one, yes, the bono.
Okay.
As one, or my who are and some of the rules number.
I see.
That is why I was saying, no bonus.
So,
that a jump now we did there. In every contract, we have conditions.
Conditions now.
Conditions. What apply those conditions?
What about J? Say, do baby, say, assume so I apply.
If you are site,
but one na so opegansi and you na be ka say I don't want one koko
e just said the worker say o hwe video na e timemu phone na e didi in say minister anko site onya reporter na
enti wo ma tie wo na so hwe saduma no so wo hi
so you see and na ya make an enyai politics na ya in 2017 amwakwata honorable eko blasted contractors via o man fiko for dia kwanso na politics na say na wa ban mo then went to for. Let's stop this. In look, meba. Is it the first time minister akwa blasted contractors? What the why you yache? So why are we doing this? And this issue say, look, in their time, I have everything. Na me no, me say na me nye partisan. They gave over 60 contracts to the same contractor, including Pokwasi Day. Ye ba ye sisa na. Come back as ye mom na. No ye or ye party.
Nobody be can.
So the point is that the man has that capacity. So we need one. More man is 60 contract. No, now we need say.
And so was sister. That's what we are now.
No, it's not over to me.
And
that is why. So we start calling it out. Look at what will happen. The contract. Over 60 contracts. I have one. 60 contracts. And I'm telling you.
Papa contractor, Kwame Medase, Papa contractor. Papa contractor, Pacho, and you who here pa. And now Kwano see here pa. Into Papa contractor, Mr.
The party do that because of Boko. Procurement.
Professor happy birthday your friend Professor Bentel University of Education and no dinner what that into Prof Bentel Obia say happy birthday Kokos for you say happy birthday share was dominant for anybody
and then so social media guy Pablo no say nanso no say na woda nti Pablo baby a obi an nyina say wutirim kwa na ena no pesa medical kwa mprempe by ngina kwa mprempe Monto ama man may you for national organizer amamo party MPP aha kamaka youth say me youth nti bibia ni youth na kama no Honorable Bernard Media yes we lawyer me that say akotiam na sebedwani eni na fi Dr. Bismarck Dumsaki ono so a development communication expert madam asepapa ye ne Owura Richard Kumado security consultant so kasai na nanka ese ne Dr. Tekpe enso edin komo for economy but na ye machines ne high adwinity ne ntumi ankasa Nyankopon ya Rwanda se ne ye hwe consensus betumi aka no sabidi kankan ye no ochina aye enanom da nansa na no menua kapas bra company usie wofa ewo ahoma so okumase ne me ma shede sanso na mela usu usie uni apani uni aba ewo kumase ohwimase ene uso yema wo shede na Dr. Tony Obin so edi ne brother ne na wotweda ene ewo kasoa eti Dr. Tony Obin so ma shede na me nanom nyina happy Mother's Day in advance o chere Yakopon ya adomo a eye enanom da enti mami ni aba Abigail okumase subin me mountain kwa me go fase Abigail ohini brinya mayu na femi ni aba sisi munyina mo okumase na mako me mami ba ko pe me no be di Mother's Day wati
na o ka de o me de enke
mami bo me de so ansan antipina mai ye rofori mami wonso ye ma happy Mother's Day in advance na mako de ye ra despite mami eno no anti sawa nyame na aye wosunyan na anti akosia Dumasi locus sunyan anti sawa Bifa Rock ono so na fe Angelina Bwachi ansa onso saa me ma wo etirin kwa ma wo happy Mother's Day in advance ma Christy bia wo bia no Christina Lawson onso bia wo bia no Judah Praise so for penin ko fare by onso me ma wo happy Mother's Day in advance and anu nyina do so bi anu mo passion nyina ma mo nyina happy Mother's Day in advance and obi biara e ma mo nyina happy Mother's Day in advance nipa cho nipa ba ko pe
hey Dabi me MP me constituency
ma
me fu a wo ho nia me mo bia official pa happy Mother's Day
Mother's Parliament
we no kre na afi
okay
me ma me anka so de me ba wiase eye nana hema biama de bia ko onyankopon nhira no se na domunti ene me tenkwam na ye frɛ me honorable ni bi me chia kwati aman ene man wo ho nia ma ne ma mefo ekunafo ene ade nia nyamboa me fi ha se ya
ba kwati okay
na ya hwɛ nia ye be
wade mfa nkom na juju me yɛ fi eyi ma lodina and vice president ma jeno pokwa jiman and ma MPs Senator Lawrence Senator and Mama Samira Baumia and my beautiful Rebecca Ghana wazoye na mema my woman Sibijo nyina happy Mother's Day in advance more the ministers ni CEOs manning in former
CEOs any man so yere
no how my yere no nyina Kwame now can we be
because can be a former first and second lady but okay me mama so my miska obaya
chifozoka
or Amsterdam
okay
and me auntie so mo kuma sinu do mo kan na me mo happy Mother's Day my wife also
okay
my beautiful
but if you are beautiful you what it
no ma mo MPP mu nyina
okay
mo happy Mother's Day
so me happy Mother's Day dem koma me ma me nana hema Amponikuya the second Queen Mother was Adam Nase and then ma mo University of Education Winneba nyina and mo Winneba and your friend is saying Huni Valley. Na ma council aka say me man from doors ma efe ma magi in fact will be all contributing to maybe a dream be ma me phone nyina mothers all over Ghana and beyond no ya ma happy Mother's Day and na me madam no ma me nyina so mo happy Mother's Day
Auntie Rose Kabeti
me mama say so
Kabeti pa Uzi also happy Mother's Day in advance so Uzi happy Mother's Day Auntie Rose baby a wo bia no mama hwe me mama tight no kra wempo oye president de ma ekuobi mama hwe ye Auntie Rose ni so ana me hwe Auntie Rose enka mawu ye enka ma mbedwan pa Auntie Rose fa cha me na ade ma hwe me hu enti on behalf of myself any me nuanom mba nyina no ye ma ontiri nkwa Mother's Day die ya you got to Mother's Day you enti bia obi na Auntie Rose me ma ontiri nkwa pa me di Agya Kwabena me da production team na se na mo de ameka nyina eyetiawa ene se omane ye yede o ye twa mu tan ye yede a ye se etini eti anka eno chesa bonti suni emefa nkodi ti mesre se bibia se ye bia na ye natural resources no about 80% be Ghana for dia no let's do it ne san be boaye am ya chechero man no ne dimpa ye wo fititititi no a reflect o ye dada asitene mu na nkwankwa dia yiyi yakra mu ihwa ya doma dasene ye be senhia ba mu nyina mu ni hwe